Oh, Bill. I don't hear you. Can't hear you. I don't read lips.
Okay, can you read them now?
Yeah, I can read you now.
Okay.
All right. 1 second here, please.
Hey, Jim,
Yes, sir.
I got some people delivering something here sometime, possibly between 2 and 3. I may have to leave the meeting for a couple of minutes. Then,
All right. Appreciate the heads up. Anyway, the meeting of the Mojave. Oh, Diane is on? Okay. She said she wasn't going to be here, but if she is, good. Meeting of the Mojave Air and Spaceport Board of Directors regular meeting, October 19th, 2021 will come to order. Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you like to lead us, please?
Sure. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, roll call, Director Barney. And she just sent me a text saying she wouldn't make it today. Director Coleman,
Here.
Director Morgan,
Here.
Director Deaver,
Here.
and Director Ballantyne. All right, let the minutes reflect that Director Barney is not present. Looking for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Bill.
Second by Coleman.
I have a motion by Director Deaver, a second by Director Coleman to approve the agenda. Are there any questions regarding the agenda? All in favor, Director Coleman?
Aye.
Director Morgan?
Aye.
Director Deaver?
Aye.
And Director Ballantyne? Aye. Agenda is approved. Community announcements. Members of the audience may make announcements regarding community events. Is there anyone out there or having community announcements?
There's going to be, I'm on the board of the museum, transportation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your name?
Christy.
Christy, last name?
Aguilar.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's going to be a barbecue
Thursday night?
Thursday. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Where at? It'll be at the Hanson Hangar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else? All right. Next item is the consent calendars. Item A is the minutes of the regular board meeting, October 5th, 21, and item B, check register dated October 13th, 21. And the check register is $50,643.74. I'm looking for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Morgan moves to approve.
Yeah, seconds.
By Director Morgan. Is that a second by you, Bill?
Yeah.
All right. Second by Director Deaver. Were there any questions on the consent calendar? None being, roll call, Director Coleman,
Aye.
Director Morgan,
Aye.
Director Deaver,
Aye.
Director Ballantyne. Aye. Consent calendar is approved. We have no action items. Next item will be reports. Director of Operations, Matt.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, we had a busy week from digging out last Monday after our top speed of 72-mile-an-hour winds. Quite fast. The airport turned into some parts part beach and then part tumbleweeds and trash. And so with that said, our operations team did a great job on digging us out. In fact, the winds were so strong that we experienced a shattered side window in one of the ARF trucks, which is being replaced now. So that really came out unexpected, out of left field, because what we're trying to do is coordinate any type of events like this, like a wind event or weather event, and notify tenants and notify anyone on the field about securing their aircraft or assets. But that one did definitely catch us by surprise. So with that said, we're just about out of that. Coupled along with that, we have experienced a second round of COVID. 50% of our fueling staff is out with COVID, and then also in maintenance, we've had someone out there as well. Not sure when the maintenance individual is going to come back, but we're doing our best. So with that said, even though we're short-staffed with maintenance, we're thankfully cross-trained with some of our maintenance staff to provide fueling for our customers. So we haven't missed a beat there, thankfully, and we're optimistic and hopeful that next week we'll be back to firing all cylinders towards the end of the week. There was some damage done to the AWAS station. That is scheduled to be fixed and up online next Thursday. And also due to the wind damage, the elevator was non-operative for about 4 days, and that's now back in line here. So big thanks to Jason Buck and coordinating the elevator back in service. Tomorrow we have a meet and greet with Bakersfield College, and this is the robotics class of students. Professors from Bakersfield College will come tomorrow. It's a meet and greet, and it's basically a way of showcasing what they have to offer for internships, paid and non-paid, as well as full-time employment and senior papers. And so we've got tenants coming tomorrow. Board members obviously invited as well. It starts at 11 o'clock. Lunch is provided, 11 to 12 o'clock tomorrow here in the boardroom. Cosmic Girl is back. You may have seen her down at the Hammerhead. We're very excited to have her back here. We're selling quite a bit of fuel, too, with the 8 touch and goes they had last week at night. And we have a new air traffic controller starting November 1st. I told you that last meeting. He comes with a breadth of experience and knowledge from LA Center to towers to ground control clearance delivery. So that's going to be a good two-way street in terms of teaching some of our staff members here, as well as getting someone who's seasoned and will provide quite a bit of benefit to the organization. And I think Mr. Lindner is going to talk about Playing Crazy and West Painters Memorial. And again, we've got the Adopt-A-Pilot at Kathy Hansen's hangar this Thursday. Grills Gone Wild will be there smoking or cooking up some hamburgers and hot dogs.
You say grills, right?
Yes, sir. Grills Gone Wild. Yep. Just reading what's in the news here. And that's it for my report. I'll entertain any questions.
And just for the audience, the elevator that he's referring to is in our tower. Yeah, it's a little odd for Mojave when they reference the elevator.
I think it's the only elevator in Mojave. If that's correct?
That I'm aware of, yes. All right.
Question from Coleman.
Sure.
Yes.
Were the people that had COVID, were they vaccinated?
I don't think you can.
You don't say that?
I didn't comment.
Okay. I'm curious. This just for I've been vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm just curious the protocol for that.
So it's not a HIPAA violation to disclose it because, of course, we're not a healthcare provider.
Yeah.
But it would probably be considered part of the personnel file.
Yeah, I would avoid
it.
All right.
I understand your concern.
But if you know generally, right, don't identify individuals, but if you know generally, you can answer generally if that's the case or not.
Okay. I'll say generally they were not vaccinated. And happy to talk more offline about that.
All right. Any other questions? All right. CEO?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, members of the board, thank you. Industrial and Aerospace Development meeting was conducted on October 6th. Concentric Power provided a presentation on their capabilities and things they can do to assist the different tenants with their electric needs. That was very well received. Most of the tenants were very excited about that. We also discussed the runway 1230 rehabilitation that's coming up and trying to mitigate any operational impacts that may occur as a result of that. On the note of the FAA grant for runway 1230, one of the things I kept noticing in the paperwork I've been receiving is this money was coming out of the supplemental pot. I kept asking, what does supplemental mean? Because nobody could really tell me. We know the grant was for $5.968 million. My question was, does that 5.968 represent, is that the 90% that they're going to cover? What's the situation? As it turns out, since this is a supplemental grant, FAA will be funding 100% of this grant. In other words, we will be receiving, we'll be able to construct $6.631 million worth of the rehabilitation of this money, and it's 100% money. So we will not have a share, which is good. Currently working with the folks at Gold Point Homes. They are the development company that is looking to work with our tenants to develop temporary housing and some amenities for our tenants on site here. Those negotiations and talks are going very well. They're going to start meeting with some of our larger tenants who has the need for corporate housing and things of that nature within the coming weeks. I'll also be receiving some renderings to share with y'all probably over the next 2 weeks. I'll be able to get those to you to the next board meeting. In the first part of November, we're scheduled for our 2022-23 budget meeting, which we'll start the process of doing our capital budgeting for 22 and 23, as well as our operations and maintenance budgeting. As Matt spoke about, we are still assessing the storm damage from the windstorm. One of the items that did get affected, I don't think that he mentioned, was AWAS. And we're currently in line. Did you mention AWAS? Thank you. We're also doing some refurbishment or rehabilitation to some of our fuel trucks. That continues, working with a couple of different entities out of Bakersfield to provide the parts for the fuel trucks. That'll be happening within the next week as well. Had a very good visit, a very fruitful visit with Administrator Bill Nelson from NASA, as well as the folks at MASP Aerospace about a week ago. Very good meeting. Mr. Nelson is very pro commercial space, obviously being a former shuttle commander and the amount of time he spent in Washington as a senator. He is very inclined to provide more funding for the commercial space industry. Had a very good meeting also with a company called Orb Aero. Gentleman Alex from Orb Aero, met with him last week. Their concept of operations is developing a vehicle that's an electrical vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. Matter of fact, I think Chuck tipped me off to them originally. And very interesting concept. Look forward to working with them in the future. Showed them a couple of facilities and more to follow on that, but things are definitely moving in the right direction. Plane Crazy this past Saturday was very well received. It was a tribute to Mr. Win Painter. Here's some of the handouts. Take one handed down if you would. I believe Matt's handed them all out on this side. But I never had the pleasure of meeting or knowing Mr. Win Painter, but from all the stories that were told and the things I've learned about him, I regret never having the opportunity to have met him. Very interesting individual. As Ms. Aguilar mentioned, Matt mentioned, this Thursday night we'll be having a barbecue down at the Hansen Hangar. That will be for the Navy Test Pilot School coming out of Pax River. They'll be here and feel inclined. So inclined, please adopt a pilot. Should be a very good event. Also this Saturday is the Gathering of Eagles event at Antelope Community College. This is an event that is a dinner to benefit the Flight Test Museum Foundation at Everett Air Force Base. It is organized and headed up by Mr. James Doolittle III. Looking forward to that. It should be a very good event. If you would like tickets to that event, we have 8. You can grab them from Nicole in the admin office on your way out. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Quick question, Mr. Combs.
Yes, sir.
I thought it was at the Performing Arts Center, the meeting
Performing Arts Center, but at the college campus.
on the college campus, not the one on Lancaster Boulevard.
No.
Okay.
I can confirm that with him.
Okay.
It's at the Performing Arts.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought, okay, thanks. I'll be there instead.
Yes.
It doesn't say here my information.
Yeah, there's 2 Performing Arts Centers now.
Oh, yeah, it is held at the AV College Performing Arts Center on the 23rd. Yes, thank you.
You wanna-
Director Valentin, do you mind just pausing for a minute, asking if there are any public area that maybe can't see that
Okay, we're not there yet.
on either of the reports?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yes. Are there any public comments on the reports from our Director of Operations or General Manager from the public or anyone out there? I apologize again because
Yeah, we just can't see them, but Jason has that.
okay,
So we're.
thank you. That, yeah, because out of sight, out of mind, and I apologize.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. All right, and then being Board of Directors comments? And being public comments. Public comments on items not on the agenda. Members of the public may comment to the board on items not on the agenda. Are there any public comments? Okay. All right, Nandine, thank you everyone for attending. We're going to go into closed session. I believe Jason can put you in the waiting room. When we come back into open session, we'll let you back in and we'll give a report out on actions taken during closed session. Thank you very much for attending.
You did great.